Hey everyone, it's Marco again from Diablo 3 Gold Secrets. Today I want to talk to you about patch 1.0.7. Finally, a patch worth talking about. I have been pulling my hair out trying to find new information and stuff to talk about from Blizzard, but it's been, ever since that PvP thing got scrapped, it's been terrible. But finally, we have a good patch that isn't just dueling. Remember they said, oh, the PvP's canceled, but now we're going to allow dueling. I was really worried that they weren't going to do anything else. But apparently, Blizzard's a little worried about critical hit damage. I think that's where they're going with this. I noticed several changes to the Wizard and the Monk that seem to take people towards builds that have attack speed and high primary stat, high damage builds. In fact, they're making a change to Ruby, the red gem. And this is one of the things I want you to start purchasing. Supposedly, red gems are going to become equal to green gems. How are they going to do this? I think what they're going to do is either make red gems attack speed, or they're just going to increase the amount of damage you get from them. So it'll be significantly more than what it is now, to make it equal to these green gems, which are obviously critical hit damage. Now, in order to facilitate this, they also made some changes to the Monk and the Wizard. They'll probably make more changes across the board to make it so some abilities work way better when you just increase their base damage, instead of trying to build these huge crit builds. I mean, as a demon hunter, that's all I do. You know, I have 480% critical hit damage, and so like I'm critting for 250,000, and then when I get like a big, I'm hitting for like 250,000, and then like I get this huge crit for 700,000 damage. I mean, that's the way my build is. A lot of people play that way. First it was all attack speed, then it was all critical hit damage. Now they're trying to get people to go towards the middle. So that's a good thing, okay? But you've got to understand the reasoning behind these changes. Now, I say, to speculate, buy a ton of red gems, okay? Tons of them. Highest quality you can get. These are going to sell. Now, in terms of crafting, I've been asking for this change for 6 months. Finally, we're going to get some things to craft that use the higher end materials. But there's a catch. Demonic Essence. This Demonic Essence is going to drop from Elites in Inferno. So it's going to be another crafting material that you can pick up. Now, will this replace Fiery Brimstone in the crafting recipes? We don't know. Okay? Right now, you probably have a stockpile of Fiery Brimstones, because I told you to stockpile them a while ago, and then I told you again, and then nothing happened, the crafting change didn't come. Well, now it's finally here, so if you have a giant stockpile, you don't need to buy any more, just sit on them. If you don't, buy a little bit, like buy something, because I think they're going to explode. If Fiery Brimstones are used along with Demonic Essences for all these crafting items, awesome purchase. If it's not, it's going to be a dud. It's going to drop like a rock. Besides the Demonic Essence, I think you have a much better chance with the Tears and the, why am I drawing a blank? The Essences. So, Essences and Tears. I say speculate on these more than the Fiery Brimstones, because I'm pretty sure you're not going to just put in Demonic Essences to create these items. You're going to put in other Essences and the Tears, hopefully, and maybe if we're lucky, Fiery Brimstones. Maybe, if we're lucky. You know, I don't know though. It's going to be up to Blizzard. And what's going to happen is people are going to speculate on this. And hopefully by the next update, next blog update where they tell us what they're going to do with these recipes, maybe give some more specifics, then the market's going to go either way up or way down. Because the speculators are playing the market heavily right now. There's just a lot of risk. So if you've got the gold, invest it in this, invest it in the red gems, and it may pay off really big. Okay? Now, dueling, and at least you can recover some of your losses. You know, if these do tank, at least you'll get something back. They're not just going to be items that sit and you have to vendor. You'll get something for them. So it's not going to be a total loss either way. Now with dueling, you're going to have this guy that you walk into the inn and you talk to him in Tristan, and then he lets you go duel each other in a special zone just for dueling, which you get no bonuses for, and it's just pride. Okay, how's this going to affect the markets? not too much. I really don't think that people are going to go out of their way to build super dueling characters. I just don't see it happening. Now, they didn't say anything about hardcore. Will you die in hardcore dueling and then be dead forever? I don't think so. But they didn't mention it in the blog post. So maybe on the hardcore auction house, these items will just go through the roof. These survivability dueling items. Maybe. That's a really big risk. I'm pretty sure they're going to let you come back to life in the dueling hardcore mode. Now that being said, I don't think it'll affect the level 60 markets that much. But I think that twinks will be affected. So all those twink legendaries that you get while leveling, I think those will be valuable. I really do. Not the legacy stuff, all the new stuff. I think these are a good bet. Now, not just for the dueling patch. Let's say it doesn't work out. Okay, you buy a bunch of twink legendaries and they don't really go up in price. But when we go beyond dueling, hopefully patch 1.0.8, when we go into PvP, however they implement it, hopefully all level characters will be able to participate. It won't just be level 60. If that's the case, twink legendaries are just going to go through the roof. I mean, they're already pretty expensive. They're already worth flipping from the gold to real money auction house like I've shown you before. But if that goes live, it's going to be a whole new ballgame. Just such a larger demand on these items. And remember, it's hard to get these items because most of the people playing these levels are not high in Magic Find. So they don't find these items very often. It's the people who go back, put on MP10, and run through the lower zones that find this kind of stuff and make a lot of money. So that's always a strategy you can try. Now, drop in value. Remember the 80% rule. Maybe you've watched some of the other videos, maybe this is your first video. 80% of the stats is my general guideline for when I sell an item. I identify the stats that are valuable, like 3 or 4 stats, and then I say, okay, what amounts do I need to make a profit? And I try to go with 80% of the max. Going with the 100% of the max for more than one stat is ridiculous. It's so hard to do. Okay, it's just not going to happen. If it does, it's probably a dupe. Okay, but this 80%, I don't think so. These crafting recipes that allow you to use demonic essence, they're going to have the best stats for primary and I think vitality for those particular item slots. So if you craft a glove with this demonic essence and hopefully these other materials, and you create this glove, it's going to have a higher roll chance than the other legendaries and rares in that category, supposedly. So most likely these items will be the best in the game. And Blizzard mentioned people are using the auction house to find their items instead of other methods like drops and crafting. I believe they realize that there's no way to fix the drop rates. You know, if you make them too high, then everyone ends up with great gear and the game sucks. So they're going to leave the drop rates low, so it's like winning the lottery, you get a great drop. Or you craft and you spend time farming the items, knowing that once you have these items, you can make what you want. Similar to what they did with the portals and the keys and the farming of the wardens. Same idea, except now it's going to be recipes, which will probably be easier to do than the keys and probably less luck involved. So this 80%, what will happen? Well, your rares and your legendaries, this is going to change. Okay, I'm thinking 90%. And that being said, I think their overall value is going to drop even for this percentile because these are better. Okay, these rares and possibly legendaries. Wow, that's a terrible. My marker's all funny. Rares and legendaries, especially these. I mean, these are already pretty worthless right now. There's only a couple. I'd say the rings and the amulets are really the best rares to sell, and then things with 18 reduced level requirement. Which, by the way, which will be awesome for this if they allow dueling and PvP for all levels. I think dueling will be all levels. But if they allow PvP too, those minus 18 level requirement items are going to be awesome. So maybe stockpile some rares with 18 reduced level requirement. But that being said, legendaries will be affected by these crafting items. Because instead of going out and buying a legendary, we're going to craft the item ourselves. And supposedly it's going to be better. Now some legendaries have some freakishly high stats. So maybe those will still be good. But in most cases, people are just going to create a set of these demonic essence inspired items. So I think value drop across the board. Start unloading your rares and your legendaries. Get them out the door. Except for the twink stuff and the -18 level requirement stuff. Okay, that's what we want to focus on. So recap real quick. Buy red gems. Stockpile a little bit of essences, tears, and brimstones. Start stockpiling twink legendaries. Stockpile 18 reduced level requirement weapons. And just unload your crap and get rid of it, because it looks like we're seeing a massive value drop like we've never seen before. Alright guys, good luck and have fun.